Well, Andy, I can be wherever I want to be now because I've bought a sheewee.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, I was on a road trip recently. I went to a service station and they did not have a toilet, thus breaking the essential social contract that there should be a toilet at a service station. You buy a bar of chocolate and you're allowed to do a wee. And in my outrage, I ordered a sheewee on Amazon. I have not used it yet, but I feel so free.
Wednesday, as well as being Inauguration Day, is International Day of Acceptance. And I'm not sure absolutely everyone in the USA is going to be observing that. And it's also International Penguin Awareness Day. So do try to spend at least some of the inauguration buglers thinking to yourself, if America had been led by a penguin for the last 4 years, A, how different would things be now? And B, yes, we would be looking at a re-inauguration for President Beaky Flipperwing. And also try to think on Wednesday about all the times that penguins have saved humanity by distracting aliens who landed in Antarctica and thought, what the is this place? Do we really want to waste our time with a planet where the birds have let themselves go to the extent that they can't fly anymore? So thank you to all the penguins involved. There was one story that might even be the Trumpiest story to have come out of Trump's America over the past week, and that is the story of a manatee in Florida, which was graffitied with the word Trump. It was etched into the algae on its back, the word Trump. Rudolph Giuliani, the former human, claimed a vote carved into the flesh of a water-based mammal is equivalent to 8 million normal human votes, and it is the closest that they've yet come to some evidence of electoral wrongdoing, a manatee with the word Trump written on it. And it's just seems so emblematic of the terrible suffering of America these last 4 years. Oh, the huge manatee.
Like in the world of Brexit, Duolingo is going to be the only way people in Britain can hear other languages. It's like how you have to watch Game of Thrones to see dragons. Like, it's a fantasy.
Well, other aspects of Brexit have really hit home. British lorry drivers have had ham sandwiches ripped from them by Dutch customs officers under new Brexit rules. You can't take meat into the, and this is what Brexit was all about. We're taking back some rolls. Boom. But the good news is, and this comes not just from me, but from no less a source than Cabinet Minister Jacob Rees-Mogg, because of Brexit, fish are now happier. Fish are generally happier when they have a greater chance of survival rather than because they actively want to be eaten, digested, and indirectly returned to the water whence they came by British mouths, tummies, and botulences. I mean, if they are happy, it's because they know Britain is going to be weaker out of the EU going solo, and that they might, and I emphasise might, actually even be looking beyond that at another land invasion like the one they launched on Britain 400 odd million years ago. I mean, was it Britain that the fish invaded when they climbed out to sea? We don't know, but if you extrapolate how big Britain is now compared with how big it was 100 years ago, and then take that back another 400 million years, then the entire universe was British. So, and it was a happier universe then as well. All the planets were happier.
Well, look, Andy, I, for one, I utterly believe Jacob Rees-Mogg can talk to fish. He's not the Aquaman we want, but he's the Aquaman we deserve. If any man can truly understand the feelings of a fish, it is man-fish Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Okay, this is ridiculous. The fish are not happier because they're in British sea space, right? Fish, much like people, are happier in international waters where they can gamble and murder with impunity. That's just science.
I'm slightly worried that the EU is putting the EU back into EU with this news about the approval of mealworms as safe to eating. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, and just because you probably should doesn't mean you will. It might be good for the environment, but I, for one, will only eat yellow mealworms if they're presented in a way that I understand, which is to say, hidden in gelatinous nutrition blocks by a sinister committee in a creepy post-apocalyptic utopia that turns out to have dark secrets it'll kill to keep hidden.
I think, if only, with hindsight, just because you can doesn't mean you should have been the campaign slogan of the Remain campaign, and I think the result could have been very, very different.
Look, we can eat yellow mealworms across Europe now, which I think we're overlooking that this is great news for fish. Maybe this is why the fish are happy. People leaving us alone eating mealworms. We were so desperate for a win in 2021 that we're like, okay, look, the bad news, there's a pandemic, international turmoil, the global rise of the far right. But good news, everyone. Legally, we can eat bugs now. They've been approved. Where was this news when I was 5 years old? I was ready to eat bugs. I think, look, big tech has gone too far. Call me old-fashioned, but if you want to lock my penis in a cage, do it by hand, okay?
Testify!
This is just, where has the common touch gone? Where's the craftsmanship? I just feel like, look, we don't need all these smart devices. Whatever happened to a humble wicker penis cage? Or a metal chastity cage done by just some hand soldering. This is just, when I see this news, I just think how far we've strayed from our humble roots as people. And I don't mean no chastity penis cages. Again, I just mean maybe one that you've whittled yourself on the porch like Nana did.
I mean, Tim Berners-Lee is turning out to be arguably the greatest sexual pervert in the history of the human race, and but that is a hotly contested title. But I mean, if this is what he planned all along, then he's got a lot of questions to answer. Super yacht news now, and Josh, as the owner of several super yachts, more I believe than all other Bugle co-hosts combined, you are our super yacht correspondent, and well, it's been sort of COVID has forced super yacht owners to adapt, just like it has ordinary human beings.
We're all in this together. Super yacht owners, the other 99.9999999% of people who have to continue living on land around other folks. Yeah, it's the same for all of us, is what they like to say. They've needed to adapt, because if there's one thing that ruins a yacht party, it's easily communicable diseases, right? Communicable diseases. Just ask anyone who's hosted a yacht orgy. It's terrible. So they're coming up with systems of how to test and isolate on super yachts. One system is by adding kind of an auxiliary vehicle that can be piloted up to the side of the super yacht, and you can stay in there isolated while you wait for your test results. This is all very interesting to me because, for one thing, there's no one I want to have COVID more than the owners of super yachts. So I am of mixed feelings about this. But honestly, if you own a super yacht where you have to be close enough to someone else where you could get coronavirus from them, that's just a regular yacht. Sorry, loser. You're not super rich. You're just regular rich. Reckon with that.
I'm a fan of this small side yacht because it was invented in Sydney. It's a Sydney yacht firm which has invented this side boat, which they are calling a protective layer between the shore and the vessel, having forgotten the word for ocean.
It's a moat made of boat.
Well, that does bring us to the end. Enormous thanks to Josh and Alice. As always, any other shows you'd like to tell us about, Josh?
Oh yeah, I'm doing a show for to promote voting rights, because in America not everybody gets to do that. So I'm doing an online show. Information on my social media at Josh Gondelman on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, Make My Day, my comedy game show where there's only one guest, so the contestant always wins. My podcast.
Yes, I have a special on Amazon. My Patreon, I do weekly salons every week on Tuesdays in different time zones. I have merch on my website, these little necklaces that say no one's going to die, we're all going to die, which are less whimsically fun than when I first created them. And other than that, I think there may be a show coming up, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it yet.
Ooh, right. Well, let's leave that little trailer hanging in the air.
Bit of smaller trailer to service it.
You can hear me and indeed download me hosting BBC Radio 4's The News Quiz for the next few weeks. And we will play you out now with some lies about our premium level voluntary subscribers. To join them or to make a one-off or recurring contribution to The Bugle, go to thebuglepodcast.com and click the donate button.